If you love Eldar, well, you'll probably really like these new minis.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Baer from SpikyBits.com, and this is Annie Cat, and well, she has a lot to say today. So we have some more Artel W. Oh, she wants to get down. We have some more Artel W miniatures in the studio here for you. We got a big batch in. They wanted us to showcase for you, and I love their stuff. And one of the miniatures I'm going to show you today is one of my new favorites from them. I told them when I saw it back in July, I was like, oh, OMG, this is it. This is the one that's going to put you on the map, and I really like this Not Fugan, but I'll show that to you here in a second. So they have a range of Not Fire Dragons. They've done Not Howling Banshees and Not Striking Scorpions and Not Spiders too, I think. So I don't know what's left for them, but either way, some really great looking boutique not Eldar miniatures from Artel W that I think would look great on your tabletop, and I'm kind of contemplating painting some of these up myself. Now, real quick, before we jump over to Artel W Miniatures site, I wanted to show you this here. So if you want to get in on the 3D printing phenomenon, I guess we could call it, because at this point that's pretty much what it is. Artel W actually put out a lot of their out of print miniatures from that first wave we showed you way back in 2016, 2017. I think it was 2017. It's been so long. That whole group of miniatures that you can see right here is actually free to download right now. So if you have a resin printer or a regular printer, I'm not sure which one would be the best. I actually haven't seen any of these prints yet, but you can download them. I think there's been like 45,000 downloads of this miniatures pack right here, and print them out for yourselves. But of course, you can always go over to Artel W Miniatures and scoop up some actual resin casts, which, you know, it's a lot easier to just buy them instead of putting them on your printer to kind of print out and come out overnight or over a couple of days or something like that. I don't have a lot of 3D printing experience yet, but we're definitely going to look at that here in the near future. So Artel W Miniatures, or artelw.com, whatever you do, Google search or type it in directly, you'll get to this point right here. And I kind of went on a sequence there. So when you type it in, you're going to get this landing page right here, and then you can scroll down and kind of choose between the little areas right here, the categories and things. I think for most folks, you're probably going to be looking at the 28mm scale stuff right here. There isn't too much in the 32mm. That's more primary size, but they're definitely coming out with a lot more things. They've got busts, they've got 54mm limited edition kind of print type deals, paints, bases, upgrade parts, all sorts of different things. But we're going to stick more in this realm right here, kind of where we showed you stuff before. Now, again, there is a bunch of miniatures that have come out and are more newer than what I'm going to show you today, just because the fact that stuff comes over from Europe and we don't get it recorded. So there will be stuff over here that you probably are like, hey man, why don't you show me that? Well, I will, hopefully, if they send it to me to show you. But the idea is to kind of just do it all in order, and we hadn't done a lot of this stuff right here quite yet, so I wanted to show you some of the Not Eldar stuff today. So they've got the Flaming Drake Squad, and all of these guys are part of the Starborn Ancients, or AKA Not Eldar, whatever you want to call it. And what's really cool about this is that, yeah, the pricing, you know, it's comparable to GW Plastic, of course, if you're comparing it to that. But if you compare it to something like Forge World, which is boutique resin as well, then it seems to be a value, of course, you know. But when you compare it to just kind of plastic GW stuff, you know, you can make the argument there, oh, they got some cooler designs, I like this stuff more. Okay, cool. But where they bring the value is, A, they have sales, which is really nice. They always seem to have something on sale, whether it's at the holidays or just kind of random in between. Always check out their site, you never really know. But what's cool about they have these bundles on here. So say you just want the 5 dudes and the squad leader, which they do include right here. That's gonna run $49.99. And say you want to get crazy with the cheese whiz, you want to add 3 of the female warriors just to kind of have a variety or something like that. You want to switch out some unmasked heads or something like that, you can do that. You want to add the Exarch, the Flaming Drake Prime, you can get a little bit of a discount because I think he goes for $20.50 normally, and kind of so on and so forth. Even if you want to go super crazy and get 10, like a full squad, well, you're going to save a little bit of money right there because you just went from $49.99 to $40. So there's ways to still kind of work it if you buy in bulk to still get a good deal if something isn't on sale. Now, just to show you some of the other pricing here, like I said, the Flaming Drake Prime, which is basically the X-Arc, is $20.99, and then they have some, you know, single models, like if you just want the squad leader or something like that, $14.99. If you want just the female, the lady fire drakes right here at $29.99, $10 each. So you kind of get the idea. You just kind of look around and you can kind of game it a little bit, or just, you know, wait for a sale, what have you. But either way, the pricing seems right. There's lots of options in here too. Like I said, you can get the unhelmeted heads in here, or depending on what you want to do with some of these other ones, like we're going to take a look at the Cirrus too. I actually don't think she comes with a whole lot of options. Let's take a look here. So, different. So there's an open head and helmeted head, weapon options right here. So there is a good bit of different options, and then you can have the open hand or the hand holding the, I don't know what that would be, some sort of crystalline casting thingamabobber, official term right there. So check them out. They've got all sorts of different stuff and options on their site. And now we're going to show you what happens when it comes to your door. Boom. So when the stuff shows up at your door, the miniatures you've ordered, it's going to come in something like this, like a little nice packaging with some twine and a little wax stamp. They have a little video on their Facebook page exactly kind of how they do this, and it's really neat to watch. It's a very fun and exciting little out-of-boxing experience. And once you kind of pull all that apart and kind of open it up, well, you're going to get something like this, which is still, you know, kind of the logo, little box right here, and everything's protected pretty well with bubble wrap. And all of the individual components, this is the Fire Drake squad, are going to be baggied for your convenience, so they pretty much all go together in that order. And here's the squad box opened up. So this particular one right here had the Prime model, and he has all sorts of options. Now, the what's really cool, and well, one of the things I like most about their cast, besides the Christmas, and you can see all of the very ornate armor in there, and that rune armor, and these some melta grenades and melta bombs and all sorts of different things there, is the fact that they line up. Not only do they have the keys here as triangles so they lock in and they don't rotate, but in a lot of cases they have like a part number right there. Now these ones have, and then you can see the S, or is that a VI? I can't really tell. My old people eyes are betraying me. But either way, once you kind of lock these in together, they will only go in a certain way. You just have to be careful about it. I don't know exactly which way. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there it is, and then it just locks in, and you just glue it, and you got a nice little recessed area right there, which is great. And then this particular model has a couple of different options, like you can have the larger gun, the smaller like kind of pistol, or the larger lance. And then he's doing his Captain Morgan kind of standing there, and then here's the head. This does need to be trimmed down a little bit, but once you start looking at it, like, again, it's very, very well done. Very nice, crisp, fresh detail on it right there. It's just very, very good looking. So if I trim that down, that would go right there. And of course, there's a little cat hair on it, because why not? Then the squads are all individually baggied, which is kind of different than some of the stuff we showed you in the past, where you get a whole run of different options. Every kit's different from them, so you just kind of have to check it out. And then here's just your normal trooper. This is the male versions, or the male version. Again, the legs lock together, just like this. Boom, very easily. Nice dynamic pose right there. And I'll show you some of this assembled here in a second too. But that's basically how it comes, with the bases and everything else you need in here all ready to go. And now we have the assembled model. So here's, let's see, this is regular. Yes, sometimes it's hard to tell. This is one of the regular Fire Drakes assembled, and you can see the segmented armor that just looks so fresh. And the gun, obviously, the nice frills around the top there, and even the barrel is drilled out, which is really nice, or cast out. We didn't drill it out or anything like that. I really like the segmented armor on the back right there and the little tassel. So once, like I said, they're all different poses and they all go together in a specific way. And then here's the squad leader, like I said, kind of doing his Captain Morgan pose. Some dude got burninated right there. This guy just looks super fresh. He isn't quite my favorite, but I would be hard pressed if I didn't know that the Fire Drake Prime existed, because this guy, man, as soon as I saw this one, I was smitten with it. It is just a very cool looking model. It's kind of battling this demon, just holding him up, ready to kind of curd stomp his head off with that axe right there. I don't know if any of those things make sense, but they do to me. And yeah, no, this thing goes together great, and it's got the rifle on the back, the Drake scale cape, and everything going on. It's just very dynamically posed. I mean, this would be a cool like collector's like 54 millimeter, you know, type deal thing right there. But you know, all of these miniatures are nice and big. It's basically an X-Arc, so it's going to be a lot bigger than the normal Duders right there, and you can kind of see compared to a Primaris Eliminator. And then of course we've got a normal Guardsman Duder right here, so you get the definite feel for all of that and what's going on with the sizing and everything like that. Very, very crisp, dynamic details. And then of course, and then we got the Lady Drake. So here's one of the Lady Drakes, and these are sold in a set of 3, like I showed you earlier. And compared to the Death Corps or a Guardsman right here, they're, you know, a little bit bigger, which they should be in some armor probably, I feel like, right there. So very cool, very dynamic looking. And then last but certainly not least is the Cirrus, which, as I showed you before, it's got some different helmeted options up there and different hands. This is holding that crystal Wraithbone ball sort of thing, and then different arm options right there. So again, another very dynamic, you know, the not Eldar are very dynamic. The Starborn Ancients are a very dynamic kind of figures, and they're always bouncing around doing different things. I feel like they are basically Yoda battling the Emperor in the council chamber right there. If I had to describe how the Eldar fight, that would be exactly how the Eldar fight right there. So very cool miniatures, and that is basically everything I have to show you today. Long story short, so check them out, artelw.com, or you can just type in RTLW miniatures into Google, and I'm sure you'll definitely end up all in about the same place right there. So that's it for this one. Make sure you check them out and head on over to, well, you know where to go. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.